Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Youthman. Today we're in the theater and I'm going to share with you what my thoughts are on the Klipsch RF-7 version 3s paired with the RC-64 version 3 as well as the dual SVS SB-16s. Now before we get into the video, if you're into home theater, audio and video, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you'll be notified when the next video drops. Alright guys, well tonight, just out of a whim, I invited a friend of mine, Derek, over to watch Thor Ragnarok. Now I know I'm a little bit behind the times because I have not seen the movie yet, and Derek had, and so my son tells me it's an amazing movie. It's got some incredible effects, sounds fantastic, story plot's great. So Derek comes over, we do some calibration before we get started, level match all the speakers, and we watch the movie. Now if you saw my previous video called SVS subs versus Klipsch subs, I'll link to the video in the card above as well as in the description below. In that video, I invited a friend over and we did some testing to see how the Klipsch RSW-15s, which I currently have, I've got 4 of those, how do they compare to the SVS SB-16 Ultras. Now in that test, we compared a single SB-16 to a single RSW-15 behind my screen. We also compared dual SVS SB-16s compared to dual Klipsch RSW-15s. Now in that video I shared with you, we used one particular scene. We used the scene from Super 8 during the crash scene. Now during that scene there's a lot of explosions. A lot of LFE, and it really gives the subwoofers a good workout. But during that scene, I didn't feel the pressure in my chest with the SVS as much as I did the Klipsch RSW-15s. Now we tried some different things. I moved to different seats, he moved to different seats, but we both came to the conclusion at the end of the day that in that particular scene, the RSW-15s definitely had more pressurization in this room than the dual SVS SB-16s. Now I know I received a lot of feedback and I certainly appreciate that. We had a lot of great discussions down in the comments. And I also shared that video in the forums as well as some of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of. And I know a lot of you guys, especially the SVS guys that love SVS, you were really surprised that the SVS didn't win over the RSW-15. Now through that process, I did find out that the Klipsch RSW-15s are technically a ported design. They have a passive radiator and they have an active woofer. Now I was assuming that that was a sealed enclosure, but technically my understanding now from people that are much smarter than I say that it's basically the equivalent of a ported design. And SVS even told me that their ported version of the SB-16, which is the BB-16 Ultra, would be a much more comparable subwoofer to the Klipsch RSW-15. So back to the original story. So we fire up the movie Thor Ragnarok. We set the SB-16s out in the middle of the room. So as you can see from this picture, I've moved the SB-16s out in front of my cabinet. The RSW-15s are behind the cabinet. Those were not hooked up. The Klipsch RF-7 version 3s are out in front, as well as the RC-64 version 3 is out in the front. So I went back into my Onkyo receiver and manually calibrated each speaker to level match each other. And so the front lefts, the center, the surrounds, all of those, as well as the SB-16s, were at the same SPL volume in the receiver. I made sure that on the SB subwoofers, they were set at -10 dB on the actual volume of each subwoofer. So we fire up the movie, and I wasn't sure what I was going to expect. I kind of had this preconceived notion that I wasn't going to be super impressed with the SB-16s because of the previous demo that we did with Super 8. But guys, I just want to tell you, I've got a confession to make. I was wrong. I'm telling you right now, I was smiling a lot during that movie. I'm looking over here at Derek and he's just got this big kid grin on his face like, holy cow, this sounds awesome. A couple of times during the movie, I would even pause it and say, man, what do you think so far? He was just blown away. It's so exciting, man, when you are listening to a cinema of this caliber. The Klipsch RF-7 version 3s sound phenomenal. I mean, I'm serious. They sound incredible. The center channel, the RC-64 version 3, has so much presence. I mean, it is incredible the amount of detail and dialogue. Vocals sound great. When somebody's talking, it's super clear. You don't ever have to go, what are they saying? You can hear it. It's fantastic. But I want to brag on SVS here. I was wrong. These two subs provided an incredible amount of LFE and smooth chest pounding bass in my theater room. Now my theater room is 13 foot wide by 19 foot deep with 10 foot ceilings. That's a decent amount of space to try to fill and pressurize. These two dual subs have no problem doing that. It was incredible. So about halfway through the movie, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but halfway through the movie, there's this big scene, this big battle in the arena, and I knew who Thor was going to have to fight because I'd watched the trailer. I don't know why they had to give that spoiler in there, but it would have been a whole lot more exciting if that was a surprise. But anyway, right before they came out to fight, I'm like, you know what? It sounds great right now, but I just want to see how much better it'll sound. So I bumped each subwoofer up just to -5. So I wanted to get a little bit more volume out of that just to see, can they handle it? Are they going to crumble? Are they going to start sounding distorted? Oh my gosh. Once again, these SB-16s completely delivered. I mean, I'm talking absolutely rock solid, clean, pounding bass. Phenomenal. Now, SVS and Klipsch, neither one of them are paying me to say any of this. This is my own personal thoughts in my theater, listening to it demoed, powered by the Parasound Halo A52 Plus. That's another video in itself. Oh my goodness, this stinking place was rocking, and it sounded crystal clear. No distortion, absolutely clear, chest pounding bass. Super, super fun, man. I mean, if you can't tell, I'm excited. I'm excited. That was a fun movie. Great movie. If you don't have that movie, go out and buy it. I'll link to it in the description below. Phenomenal movie. Like I said, just great, great sound effects. Great storyline, but it was super. It'll test your system. It sounded really, really good. So we finished the movie. We get to the end, and there's this huge drop. It's like, ooh. And it just hits this really, really low note. The SVS SB-16s sounded great to a certain point. There was some note, some frequency it got to, and it was, you could tell it was struggling. And so my guess is because I had it at -5 dB on each one. That's probably a little too much. So I backed it down to -10 again, rewound that scene. They sounded perfect. They sounded super clean. They were able to handle it. I just think that it was over excursion a little bit. Definitely wasn't bottoming out. It just didn't sound as clean as they did throughout the whole movie. But guys, I'm telling you right now, if you want a phenomenal system, I know there's better systems out there, but I really believe you're going to have to spend a whole lot more money to get a system of this caliber. I highly recommend all of those speakers. The RF-7 IIIs will rock your world. I've done many videos on that on this channel. In regards to 2-channel, this is really my first time coming out and saying my thoughts on them for movies. Phenomenal. The center channel, that is one monster. Your ears are going to give out before the RF-7 IIIs and the center channel give out, I promise you. We were sitting at about -10 dB on my receiver, so we weren't even at reference, and they were just playing effortlessly. Super, super clean, super, super great. Really, really, really enjoyed the sound that I'm getting out of that. The highs aren't too bright. I know sometimes Klipsch is criticized for that because the high frequencies are kind of in your face and too bright. I don't believe that at all with the new RF-7 IIIs and the RC-64 version 3. They did modify the horn, they did modify the tweeter, added that phase plug that kind of softens that top end a little bit. I thought they sounded phenomenal. I asked Derek when he left, hey man, give me your thoughts. And his thoughts, they were incredible. And one thing that he said that was pretty cool, he said the bass, he said it felt like it just surrounded him. His attention wasn't drawn to, you know, oh, I can hear specifically from the subwoofers that the bass is coming from there. He said, I just felt it all around me. He said, I even felt the pressure in my back, which is really cool. And that's just a little side note. When you're watching a movie or if you're listening to music, if you can determine where your ears, where the subwoofer is in your room, you've got it boosted too high. Or maybe you've got the crossover set too high. Because at that point, your subwoofers are being localized. And so if you've got them blended together, it should just be a smooth sound in your room. And that's what we got tonight. Man, the Klipsch delivered, SVS delivered. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to email SVS tonight. I'm going to email Klipsch tonight and just say, guys, well done. You've made an incredible product. Well guys, that's going to wrap up this video. If you like this video, I've got tons more videos on the Klipsch RF-7 version 3s, as well as several videos on the SVS towers and the SB-16s. In the near future, I'll be bringing in the SVS towers into the theater room, hooking up the SVS Ultra Center channel, and we're going to see how they perform for home theater as well. So I'm really excited about that. Well guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, you guys be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next video.